Hey Periscope, I decided to do a video. I see people logging on, and I decided to make this actual Periscope a one that I want you to log on to. I wanted to make it that title because I know everyone would jump on it because we love drama. We love to hear about drama. We love to hear when people are doing wrong. Hey, I don't know who just came on, and I think it was it started with a D. But how you doing? Hello, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Send me some hearts. Hey, welcome. How are you? Send me some hearts, and just tap on your phone and send me some heart. You can invite some people because this is going to be a really good message, and I think this is a message that all of us need to talk about, and we've talked about it. And we've actually, hello, hi, hey, how are you? Okay, I see what your username is now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that username. That is Bridget Washington Dominion. Type it again for me. Dominion 42, I believe it is. Let me know if I'm right. Please follow her, please. That girl be off the chain boom.com. That is her saying. Listen, don't take away her saying. All right, don't take away what it is. She is original, and she is the originator of the boom.com. Yes, baby. And she loved to say that. I love when she say that. But I really wanted to point that. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you. I'm not going to stay on long. I know that I said my next video was going to be about our children and getting our children out of the home and being in survival mode. But I just had to plug this in because something went viral today. And I posted on my Facebook, and one thing I love about my girl, Pastor Bridget, I'm gonna say Pastor Bridget Washington. She that's Dominion 42. Follow her, y'all. Follow her. Please follow her. That she said, be yourself and be who you are. And that's one thing we talked about last night about your value and knowing your value and not actually taking away your value and decreasing your value for anyone. But yeah, I put on there, leadership is out of order, and Christian leadership is I was going to say they off the chain. But let me explain to you why I put that, because there's some things that I want to straighten up as I was in my study and I saw this actually come towards out to my timeline, and someone tagged me. There was a leadership explaining how, and it's on my Facebook, you can look on my Facebook, Bridget Norvell. They were explaining that how we compromise and we settle. And I'm saying we because I am also a leader. You are a leader over your flock. You are a leader in your home. So you do go through compromise and settling. And, she was talking about how she is just calling them out and letting them know how wrong they are. And I do agree with everything that she's saying. And she really laid some things out on the table, and she was explaining what God was going to do to them if they don't stop. So now I wanted to, and I passed it on my Facebook because I wanted to piggyback off of that. And I come into agreement. Now listen to this. I come into agreement for what she's saying because everything we say have truth in it. But one thing we have to remember, and us as leaders, and I'm going to read to you a little of what I did write and what I did put in there, and I said this is interesting, and I am reading from my Facebook. So if you see me looking, I'm looking at my computer. I see it's going this thing is going viral, and as we go viral, we need to put some insight, because I'm going to tell you now, there are people that are not leaders that's watching this. And what it does, it put a bad taste in your mind, your mouth for all leaders. You have people like Pastor Bridget Washington, Dominion 42, here on Periscope. You have other people that are leadership. And what happens is we're going to walk in expecting everyone to be the same way. But the thing is, we need to when we put a message like that out there that's going to go viral to everyone, we need, and I'm a teacher, so we need to put some insight and hindsight on it. So let me give you some foresight through this whole thing. I hope I said it right, but I'm going to explain something to you. It was said, and I'm reading this to you, and this is what I wrote, because I was in study. And I'm glad it came through because it made me jot down some things that I'm getting ready to teach in Bible study on Tuesday. It was said there are 4 types of leadership in the Hebrew history before Christ. Now, this was before Christ. I want you to hear me. The first one was patriarch, and that was with Abraham to Joseph. I'm going to give you a little Bible study. So, bear with me. Hang with me here. Listen to me. Patriarch. Now, the word patriarch means forefather. Forefather means generation. The generation that has followed behind it. Okay? That was the first type of leadership. The second type of leadership was the prophets. The prophets was with Moses to Samuel. Okay? So those were the prophets. Now, the third type of leadership was the princes. The princes was Saul to Zechariah. Okay? Now, the fourth one was the priest. The priest went from Joseph to, I'm going to say his name right. Just give me a chance. Caiaphas. That's C-A, and I love to spell it out because I don't want people to think, I know how to spell something and I don't, and you might be writing this down. C-A-I-A-P-H-A-S. That's Caiaphas, okay? So these were the 4 types of leadership. Every one of those leadership failed. Every one of them, listen to me, hear me. Every one of these leaderships failed in the Old Testament. It started from 5000 BC to 1500 BC to And let me give you the breakdown, the full breakdown, because like I said, I'm ready for them for Bible study. I'm sorry. It started from 2000 BC. That's the events. Now, and Abraham started in the 2000 BC, and then to 1500 BC, that's the Exodus. That was Moses. Then you have the 1000 Empire, that's your empire. The 1000 BC, that's David, and 500, that's exile, and that has to do with Isaiah. Hear me now. Leadership, what we're seeing today, it all failed, but Jesus himself came and he fell under every one of those leaderships. If you notice, everything starts with a P. Patriarch, prophets, princes, and priests. Guess what? Those are all principles. He came down and demonstrated the principles. Now, the principles, and I did see an error in here. It's supposed to be priest for the fourth one. The fourth one I see presets, but I'm going to do prince. I'll fix it now for priests. God qualifies the call. He doesn't call the qualified. Because once you feel that you're qualified to do something, you don't need his might, his power. You just know how to do it. You your own boss. Listen, no one have to tell me anymore how to drive a car because I've mastered driving that car. So when I go behind the wheel, I don't need a teacher. But I need someone that's going to lead me and guide me spiritually because it's going to be covered. It covers me. Jesus was the qualified. And he came to qualify us as leaders. Now, not every leader is going to be what you expect them to be. Let me give you another nugget. He said, "Be ye perfect because I am perfect." Who's perfect? Jesus. We mess up with the word perfect, and that has been bothering me for a few days now, and I had to go into my research and find out the word perfect because, as you know, every word has been changed listen, the Bible has been wrote from the Hebrew to the Greek to the English language, and it has been translated in so many different ways. When you hear the word perfect in the Greek, it means complete. I want you to hear me. Everyone will say, we're not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect person. But no one would be perfect. That's what they say. But my words say, be ye perfect because I am perfect. What is he talking about? His perfect spirit, his spiritual perfect will, his perfect spiritual will. You are spiritually made. So if you are seeking Christ, you're going to seek that perfection in him. And what does it mean in Greek? Complete. You are going to be complete. You're going to be mature. Now for the person, in the word perfect, for the person, hear me. Perfect now means growth and maturity. I want you to see where I'm going now. Are you looking at the outer man of where the imperfection of what they are walking? And I want to say this now, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, because we are all seeking growth and maturity. Complete has to be whole. And we are supposed to be whole. But there is some dysfunctions and malfunctions that we operate in because we have not seek that perfect will. Because some of us might be a little bit, and I could talk for myself, something might intrigue me a little bit more than what Christ had demonstrate in his patriarch, the prophetic, the princes, and the priests layout. So you have to understand that we are not, I can't say we're not perfect, but we're still growing in maturity. We are all mature. But I always say to people, know for yourself if you're more mature enough to handle somebody else's immaturity. What we should be taught, and what Christ have done, and what we all should do, and this is me, is pray. Pray for when you see imperfection, because remember, when the judgment come, it's going to be measured the same way. It's going to be shown, yeah, they off the chain. I'm not going to disagree. Boo-boo, they doing some things that we're not supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be, hey, some of us still have a drinking problem. Can we go there? Some of us still got set. Betsy still talking down there. I call her Betsy. She'll rise up sometime and say, go do this and go do that. But do we dwell on that? Do we pray for our leaders? There is something right now that's happening, and yes, God is opening up the eyes of the people. They cannot be fooled anymore. So yeah, let me talk to you leaders. They cannot be fooled anymore. So there's a calling and a mandate over our lives right now called healing in the pulpit, from the pulpit to the pew. It's a deliverance that needs to take place. But right now, we need to be careful, leaders, what we put out there on Facebook, viral. See, my message is, and my uniqueness is to pray for everyone. Everyone need prayer. And I'm even going to pray for our leaders, because we are the first partake. I told somebody something the other day. When I see something incorrect and going wrong in a congregation, I don't look at the body. If it's something that's constantly happened, I look at the leadership. So now I say, God, what do I have to pray for that head? Because whatever is not in you cannot connect to you. So when you have members, come on now, when you got members inside your camp that's been with you for years and still operating the same way, don't look at them and talk about their sins and where they're going. Let's go back to the mirror. Let's go back to the sponge. See, I teach in parenting that your children are sponge. What they do, they emulate you. They now watch you. They watch what you say and you do. So that's why they act like mama them. That's why they act like cousin them, brother them. You act just like your daddy. Because they have picked up your personality that carries out a character. You are the head. When I see something connecting to me a little bit too long, I need to check my maturity. Am I immature in that area? I want you to think about that. I want you to think this is I always say it's a two-part message. This is not a message just to the leaders, but also to the followers. If your leader is out of order, if your leader have some imperfection in them, let me ask you, where's your maturity? Are you praying for that leader? We are all accountable for what we do. And if we say we love each other, as Christ said he loved you, how are you showing your love walk? There's 4 types of love, and I'm just going to give you 2. It's conditional and unconditional. Unconditional is that agape love. Would you still love me through my mess? Would you still love me? Your children, let's go back now. Mothers, fathers, your leaders. Your children see that you have messed up. Your children is seeing some things. But do you want them to now throw it in your face? Yeah, they might tell you you're wrong. Some might walk away and never have nothing to do with you. Some might just act like you. But when that child come and say, Mama, I'm praying for you. Daddy, I'm praying for you. Now, when you see that you're acting out, leaders, that perfect love, that perfect, what does perfect mean? Come on, let's go back to Bible study. Complete. Greek mean complete. For the person, it mean growth. When they see that growth, they will now start following that growth. Let's be careful what we pass on without no insight, no foresight. Let's give them not information, but revelation. I told you I wasn't going to keep you long. Bridget, I love you. 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 I love you all. And I thank you. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for coming on. And thank you for trusting me with this message. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.